Hi, and in this question, we're going to learn how to interpret the box and whisker plot and use it to plot our own cumulative frequency curve. So let's jump right in. So from the box and whisker plot, it says, can you find the median and interquartile range? So that has been pretty straightforward now. So the median is simply this number, and that would be 26. Interquartile range is simply the upper quartile, subtract away the lower quartile. So that would be 32. Subtracting away 22, which is 10. So that's it. Really. Alright. And then now, they say, given that there are a total of 28 values in the data set, can you draw the cumulative frequency? So the first thing to note is that because we're drawing a cumulative frequency curve, all we have to do is try to find the median, which value is the median, where can we find the median, and where can we find the interquartile range. So if we have, once again, like 28 values, but for cumulative frequency curve, we just go ahead and divide it by 2. So we don't have to find like the in between this and this value. We don't have to do that. Because cumulative frequency curves are basically representation of continuous data and not discrete data. And but I won't go too much into that in this video. Just know that right now you can just take 28 divided by 2 to get 14. So the 14th over here, the 14th value, or the 14th number is the median, right? And then over here, we can say this is, therefore, is 1/4 of it, so this 28 divided by 4, which is 7, and this is where you will find the lower quartile, the 7th value. Of course, the number we've already found, right? This is 22. But what it means is that the value here is 22. And the median, which is 26, that means the value here will be 26. And then over here, for the upper quartile, it will therefore be 28 divided by 4 times 3, which nicely gives me 21. So that's the 21st value will therefore be 32. That means this value here is 32. Yep. So what it tells me is that when we try to kind of sketch, I'm just going to sketch it out. Of course, you have a graph paper, you should do it properly. But if you sketch out a cumulative frequency curve, I'm trying to make it bigger over here, where your vertical axis is cumulative frequency. It's really just a sketch. Then you can see that over here, this is at the 7th. Remember, this 7 means it's the 7th value. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. The 7th value is 22. The 14th value, the middle value of all the values you have, is 26. And the 21st value is 32. And so we can say that, okay, the key parts, the key points to this graph is the 7th value, 14th value, 21st value, and the 28th value. And right, and the cumulative frequency is that when it's at 7, the value is at 28. So my point here really is that the point I'm plotting is 22, 7. Because on my x-axis, right, when it's 7, on my y-axis is 22 on my x-axis. So I'm just going to put it here, 22. Right, and this is 1 point. And then the 14th, at my 14th value, the value is 28. So I'm really plotting 26, 14. Right, so over here, 26, 14. And then over here, I'm really plotting 32, 21. So at the 21st value, it is 31. And then we still have 2 more points that we can plot. Basically, it is at the minimum point, which we can see over here is 13. So the value here will be 13. So the point that I'm plotting is actually 13, 0, because I'm starting at 0, right? And the first value that I'm starting at is actually 13. So this is my plot. My first value is 0, but for cumulative frequency curve, we don't say we don't say 1, we say it's 0, because we start it's continuous data, non-discrete. And so I won't go into that in this video. But for now, you can just say that, okay, it is the x value, the y value is 0. Right, the y value here is 0. And then over here, the maximum point, right, is 40. So the value here is 40, and this is actually the 28th point, right? Right. That means if you count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is the 7th point. The 14th, the middle one. 21st is the upper quartile, and then the last value is the 28th value, and the number is 40 over there. So really, I'm plotting the point 40, 28. So when my when my y-axis is at 28, the value is 40 over here. So let's do that. And you can see, once again, this is a sketch. On a graph paper, you should do it properly. This is my cumulative frequency curve. You just link it up like that. Right. And now, for part C, it says, from the graph, can you estimate the 40th percentile? So 40th percentile, really, what does it mean by 40th percentile? You're trying to find the 40th percent. So the median, for example, is the 50th percentile, right in the middle. What is the 40th percentile? Somewhere here. This lower quartile is the 25th percentile. So what we do is, the 40th percentile, we take 40%, and then we try to find which value will it be at. So we find 40% of this, and what we get is 11.2, right? And so we come here and we find where is my 11.2, and we estimate, and we will find. Of course, I'm not actually reading from my sketch. I'm reading off from the actual graph from a computer, and this is 24.5. So the 40th percentile is 24.5.